begin the egg freezing process, and I just left feeling so single.
I can't see his face. That's a no for me.
Fertility starts to decline. I get that. And I've had so many people tell me, you should freeze your eggs.
You have to inject yourself. I don't even know if I could inject myself.
Costs $9,500 for the actual retrieval procedure.
I'm 32, I'll be 33, and I'm looking into the process as well.
Just letting you know, you should freeze your eggs. Look into it. And I decided I'm not going to do that.
If a man is holding a baby and doesn't specify whose baby it is, right, that's kind of a no for me.
Like, if I was dating someone, if I lived with someone, that would be easy, but
Welcome back to More to Life. Before I get into this video, like, comment, subscribe. Also, smash that notification bell just to be sure you get on my videos as soon as I release them. Let's get into this.
I am feeling pretty sad today. I just wrapped up a telehealth appointment to begin the egg freezing process, and I just left feeling so single. I remember when I was in my mid-20s, early 20s, laughing with my friends, being like, oh, if we're still single, we're gonna have to freeze our eggs when we're 32, LOL, we're all kind of joking, and I just did not think that I was genuinely going to find myself single at 31, starting this process alone. And I was just listening to my doctor, who was so wonderful, walk through the process, and the whole time I just kept thinking, I just can't believe I'm single at 31. And it would be one thing if I wasn't even trying, if I wasn't putting myself out there, but it feels like...
So she can't believe she's single at 31, and it may be longer. It's going to be longer because the standards, it's sad. I don't feel bad for them though, because you keep the standards here. And to be honest, what you're giving is here. It doesn't equal out. And men have figured it out. So you're going to be lonely for a long time. Now, the wild thing is, I'm sure you guys know her face. I'm sure you guys remember her. Now, she's made tons of videos. I probably reacted to her about 4 or 5 times already. And what is she doing? Speaking the same thing. I need a man to do this. I need a man to meet me. No, guys aren't meeting you anywhere. And this is what it's leading to. Them freezing their eggs. And it's crazy because you look at what's going to happen in 2030 and you can see it. Wow, this is really going to happen. Like when Pew Research broke that down, I said, it could happen, but I kind of know what would happen. But I'll tell you this, when I left many years ago, I didn't want this. I didn't. I don't want this for women. I don't want men to have to go through this, but men understand they have to, and they're fine with it. Because why? They're not going to get with a woman who's demanding a lot of things, but giving nothing. Listen to her.
Feels like I'm putting myself out there all the time. I'm trying to meet him in real life. I'm on the dating apps. I'm asking friends if they have anyone, and it just feels like I'm doing everything that I should be, right? I really am trying. And at one point during the appointment, she was like, you have to inject yourself, or you have to take an injection as part of the process for, I think she said two weeks or so. And I just kept thinking, I don't even know if I could inject myself. If I was dating someone, if I lived with someone, that would be easy. But now here I am thinking, that's just another layer of me being single throughout this whole process. And I know that this process does not mean I'm going to need to use the frozen eggs. It doesn't mean I'm not going to meet him soon. And I know that people freeze their eggs for a variety of reasons, and it's just a precaution, but I don't know. Today just really got me.
No comment.
So yes, I'm sad today, and I might be sad tomorrow and the next day, but then I'll be okay. I don't know why that appointment got me so bad.
Now, she's 31. She's living in New York. And she's expecting it all. And I'll say this, living in New York, when you live in certain places, you need a certain amount of money. So I kind of understand it a little bit, but still, take a regular guy. What I mean by regular guy, if a guy is making 60 and up, that's regular. Just because you're making extra money, but you know what? Even Kevin Samuels had it all the time. He broke that down. He says some of you women who may be high earners, she could be a high earner, need to settle. And they wouldn't hear it. They refuse to hear it. And same thing with her. So this is your fate. This is your fate. Take a look at what she had to say before. I want you guys to see this because this is how the comments look. And looking at these comments, you can see the issue. Let's take a look. It says, can you help me learn how to go about this? So a woman wants to know how to do it. And she looks beautiful. I'm looking at the pictures, Zariah, whatever her name is. She looks beautiful. So she's giving information on how to do it. So she's just seen her cry. They didn't say, okay, I need to do whatever not to end up in her situation. Help me how to do it. She's crying tears and everything. You see this? Now take a look at this. My mom had me at 38. Now she's trying to cushion the blow, but nobody should be trying to have kids at that age. It's a risk. And look what it says. You're not behind. Things have changed. Millennials and Gen Z are getting married closer to mid-30s compared to our parents at mid-20s. You may have a kid at 40 and you'll be okay. It's the new norm. No, it's not. It's not safe. Just because medicine works, right, doesn't mean you should use it. That's like just because I can get sick and get healed, that doesn't mean I should go around trying to catch the cold, right? Or catch the flu. I was in a relationship for 14 years, ended when I was 30, met my husband at 37, and starting our family now. Wouldn't want it any other way. God's timing is perfect. Please don't feel like you're behind. More manifesting, saying, oh, things work out like this for me, it's going to happen for you. Maybe you were okay with accepting. So you can't put that on her, right? She could be an accepting woman trying to put it on her when she's living in New York and won't accept less than 100,000, 6 feet tall. I know it. Let's look at the next one. Froze my eggs at 32. This was the most emotional process of my life. My heart is with you. It's so tough, but you won't regret it. Thank you so much for your vulnerability. They're being each other's cushions. They would rather be each other's cushions than give in to a man. This is sad, man. This is sad. That's why I was ready. I'm telling you guys, at the tender age of 34, I jumped on that plane and got out of there. They cushioning the blow to freeze their eggs. This is wild. Instead of being submissive. And I just reacted to a video today of not today. Well, you guys are probably here today of a church woman who says that be submissive, do this, do that. Don't fall for the sprinkle nonsense that every woman is doing today. And what do? Keep doing the sprinkle nonsense. Have no children.
Am I too picky on dating apps? Because if a man has multiple selfies, like 3 or 4 selfies on his profile,
here we go again.
That's a no for me. If a man is wearing a hat in every single picture, that is now a no for me. If a man has a bunch of pictures of like his car, that's a no for me.
Wonder you stayed single.
If a man has a bunch of pictures with women, it's not an immediate no for me, but it's like a little bit of a red flag, but it is an immediate no if a man has multiple pics with different women and they're all in bikinis. Like, that's a no for me. If a man only has group pictures and...
So all of these no's, you're crying about freezing your egg and you're saying all of these things are a no for you. Now, what you have to understand is this, and it's sad because this is common sense. It is. It's all common sense. Men were easy to understand. Men are not paying attention to detail on dating sites. They're not. I didn't. My wife can tell the story. When I took my dating profile pictures, I looked like I was 300 pounds in the pictures. I didn't know what I was doing. I wasn't used to being on dating apps. My wife thought I was obese. She's in the bathroom right now, but I would love for her to come out and tell it. She thought I was obese because I was horrible. at taking pictures. I took pictures like right now. I'm using an iPhone 12, right? But when I took my dating pictures, I took the dating pictures with the Samsung flip phone. Yes, the old flip phones, the old Samsungs that you flip, and it doesn't really have a regular internet on it at all. So imagine how the pictures came out, right? Now I took those pictures, put it on a dating site with confidence. And my wife looked through that, still talked to me anyway. Right, Kay? I was saying with the how my dating profile used to look when we met, and I took the pictures with the Samsung flip phone, and the pictures looked pixelated, maybe look fat. My wife still talked to me. She didn't say, "Oh, if a man has a picture looking fat," she could have been saying the same thing. And look, we're married.
Myself, I will see.
No, she
That's
didn't.
the guy.
No, but and it's funny. Like she was so loving, and I wasn't used to it. I was used to my woman, and then I said, "Wait a minute, this is my wife. This is gonna be my wife. She cares."
And then
She was so into me, I couldn't believe it.
And then right now, you're finally saved.
Yeah, but
I'm joking.
this is not her. And then look at her. Look at her presentation, right? What is that in your hair? Why do you have half your hair out and like it broken down? I think she thinks this is a style. This is turning me away. It's turning guys away. Because not only are you on TikTok turning guys away, not only are you rocking crazy hairstyles, not only are you not the cat's meow, you got standards, high standards. Oh, if a man does this in the profile, no.
Group pictures and I can't see his face, that's a no for me. Like if I have to scroll through and at the last picture I realize, oh, it's this one out of the lineup, like that's a no for me.
I said, wait a minute.
Now look at this.
I'm putting myself out there all the time. I'm trying to meet him in real life. I'm on the dating apps. I'm asking friends if they have anyone, and it just feels like I'm doing everything that I should be, right? Like I'm really am trying.
If a man is holding a fish of any kind, that's a no for me. If a man is holding a baby and doesn't specify whose baby it is, right, that's kind of a no for me.
Everything that I should be, right? Like I'm really am trying.
And if it doesn't say in their profile, like whether or not they have kids. If a man is also in his mid-30s and still doesn't know what he's looking for.
So a man could be holding his niece and nephew and doesn't specify it. You're going to say no?
Ridiculous.
This is why she had to freeze her eggs.
That's an immediate no for me. If he has like one-word answers in his profile and it's so basic, then that's also a no for me. I'm trying hard to like be positive about these dating apps, and there's 2 people that I've been talking to that I'm kind of excited about, but for the most part, I am just scrolling through and I'm like, I'm getting nothing. These apps are giving me nothing.
Yeah. And then I'm looking at you right now and you're giving everything. She thinks she's giving everything. That's the sad part. Like a guy comes across, it's funny because another woman said it. She said, I'm on the dating profiles. I had to leave because the guys are looking at dimes. She said, I'm seeing garbage on the girls' ends and the guys looking at dimes. So they're looking at dimes. And then they come across her profile. And she's saying, that's a no for me. Because the guy has a baby in the picture. Crazy.
Are we freezing our eggs or what? Ladies, what are we doing? Like, I'm 30 now. I recently turned 30 this year.
Over 27, unmarried, female. What do you call this lady? 剩女, which means leftover women.
And up until all my 20s, I was like, nah, I don't think I'm going to ever freeze my eggs. Like, it was a hard pass, actually. I don't know why I said nah like that. It was a hard pass. I was like, absolutely not. Like, what's meant to be for me will be for me. I'm going to conceive naturally and I'm going to adapt, and it's all going to go the way it's supposed to go because I have faith that it's going to happen that way. And if it doesn't, I also have faith that I can deal with whatever I'm given, whatever God gives me. I'm going to be like, that is for me, that's my portion. But then all of a sudden recently, and I don't know where it's come from, I've got this curiosity that's just been like, reconsider freezing your eggs. Now I'm still at a no, I'm not doing it, but I feel like there's something in my spirit that's saying, hear from more women, what decisions they've made and why they've made them, And then it will allow you to have more of an idea of like, yeah, this is still a hard no. Maybe there's something I need to hear from someone that I haven't heard before through my research, through talking to doctors and people, that may spark me in a different way that will maybe say, okay, freeze your eggs. And I just feel like at this point, I'm 30 now, it's better for me to figure out now if that is something I want to do.
I can see the emotional. She's feeling emotional. I see it in her eyes. She probably just got finished crying. Good thing she didn't put it on video, right? But she's going through it. She's fighting back tears, seriously, to make this video.
Something I want to do, rather than in 5 years' time be scrambling like, oh my god, I need to freeze my eggs. I have endometriosis too, so I really shouldn't be pushing it. So yeah, I'm at a no at the moment, but anybody can tell me any decision you made that made you freeze your eggs, anything that could possibly like make me just think about it differently, I would love to hear it. So ladies, please, especially if you're in your 30s and up, what are we doing? Are you freezing your eggs? Did you freeze your eggs? Let's talk about it.
Man, this freezing eggs thing, they'd rather do that than give in to a man. Just give in. Just give in. It'll make your load lighter. So many are saying, I don't want to do 50-50. And I love when I hear ladies say 50 is better than paying 100. Because it's never 50, right? Of course, you're going to want a man making a little bit more than you. Yes, I repeat, if you're making 40,000, which a lot of people are making around that number, you want a man making at least 60. Put those together, you're both making 100,000. Things, and if you're living like a person making 50, you're great. You're taking trips to different places of the world, different parts of the world, having children. I see people that, and you're still somewhat considered middle class, not no more, but you know, depending on what area you're in, you're middle class, you can get along in life well. But most of them would rather freeze their eggs than to give in. And giving in, it's not that bad. Unless if you end up with a jerk off, leave him. But you can't base a guy being a jerk off the guys you want. Because that's what they're doing. It's crazy.
Absolutely. So I said I was going to share this journey because I feel like a lot of women would be interested in it. So this is the steps involved in the egg freezing process. Step 1 to 9. So far I've done step 1 to 5. So I've done the blood work, I've done the orientation, I've ordered the medications, and I am starting step 6 next month when I get on the second day of my menstrual cycle.
Where is your husband?
And this is a cost. So it costs $9,500 for the actual retrieval procedure. And then it costs like between $2,000 to $8,000 for the medicine. Thankfully, my insurance covers it. So I don't have to do that out of pocket because I would not have been able to do this if my insurance didn't cover it.
Here's why I'm choosing not to freeze my eggs, even though I am 31 years old. I'm single, no kids. I'm literally not even dating anyone or talking to anyone right now. I am well aware that, after a certain age, us women, our fertility starts to decline. I get that. And I've had so many people tell me, you should freeze your eggs. I wish I freeze my eggs. I'm just letting you know, you should freeze your eggs. Look into it. And I decided I'm not going to do that because I believe that freezing our eggs is basically a false sense that we are in control in whether we get pregnant or not. I'm a Christian, and as a Christian, my mind has to be renewed. I can't think the same as everyone else. Yes, I get that freezing your eggs gives you the possibility of eventually having a baby later on in life, but I believe God is in control. And if God wants me to have a baby at age 40, I'm going to have that baby, a healthy baby at age 40, regardless of if I freeze my eggs or not. I believe that if God does not want me to have...
I totally agree with what you're saying. I agree with it. It's just one thing, right? One thing you're doing right now is you're most likely not. A man can't tolerate you. He can't deal with you. You won't give in, right? So you expect, because I know you're praying for it, for God to send you a man, but what man do you want him to send you? Because he's already sent your man. Most likely, he's already sent that guy that he may be like 5'10", 5'9", makes 80,000 a year, right? And he checks off all of someone else's boxes, but not yours. Right man for you, especially if you're short. Because a lot of these women are walking around at 5'4", saying, I want a guy that's 6'3", 5'9", perfect for you. Rejected him. Sent another guy. Rejected him. Now, back in the days of Noah and Jesus and all those guys, you think the woman was saying, I want a guy that's 6'2", making this much? There were women saying, I want a rich man. There were. There were always gold diggers all throughout time. There were always sprinkles. It always was like that. But it never worked. They weren't in the Israelite camps. I can tell you that. Right? They were in the Jezebels. Yeah. So if you think like a Jezebel, is that of God? I'm just saying.
A child, no matter what I do, even if I try and freeze my eggs now, I'm not going to have that child.
I wonder why.
And I get that for some people, they're like, well, like, I know for sure that I want to have a kid. And that's why I want to make sure that, you know, I do whatever I can to make sure I have that kid. And that is believing that somehow you're in control of it. And we're not. Like, having a child is a gift from God. No matter what anyone says, that is a gift from God. And only God can, it's only going to happen if God has it planned for you. And for me, I choose that even if God doesn't have a kid planned for me, I'm okay with that. Why? Because I want what God has planned for me more than I want the plans that I have for myself. Yes, I would like to have a kid one day, but I understand that God's plans and his ways are so much better than anything I could imagine for myself. So if that's not in the cards for me at whatever age, I'm cool with it. I surrender and I trust God that much. And you know, that it's not to knock anyone that does get their eggs freezed. Everyone has a choice. But for me, my choice is to trust the Lord and to lean not on my own understanding. The world tries to sell us these solutions and these like ways that we can feel in control. But having a true relationship with God, really trusting God, requires you to surrender your need for control. Surrender the idea that you are in control and trust God's plan wholeheartedly.
Actually, you're supposed to surrender that need to a man, and the man is supposed to trust in God's plan. That's really instructed. But I'm just saying, it's true.
God's plan wholeheartedly. For me, if I'm meant to have a kid at whatever age, God will make it happen. Only God can make it happen.
Where is your husband?
And if not, I will not. So for me, freezing eggs is not even an option. God is my only option. Trusting God is my only option.
So I was watching this young lady's video yesterday, and she was basically kind of emotional because she was talking about how she's in the process of freezing her eggs, and she's 31, and she just never thought that this would be an option she would have to take. And I relate so much to that because I'm 32, I'll be 33 this year, and I'm looking into the process as well. I thought I'd be married by now, but but that didn't happen, and it don't look like it's happening anytime soon. So, you know, me being 33, I'm approaching, you know, mid-30s, and I just think it's time to start looking into like alternate realities. And I know, like, a lot of times when I talk about this, people mean well, and they're like, you know, people have kids in their late 30s and in their 40s. And I'm just like, yeah, but unfortunately, I do have a uterine condition called adenomyosis. So, it's the cousin to endometriosis. So basically, I developed these, like, lesions in my uterus. And my uterus is expanded. It's bigger than I think it's the size of as if I was 2 months pregnant. And also this condition makes it hard for pregnancies to be carried. So there's 4 stages as well. So as time goes on, this is a condition that gets worse. And when I was first diagnosed, the doctor was like, yeah, you need to get on having kids. That was 6 years ago. So, like I said, I know people mean well, but it's just like, you know, it's not that simple for me. And, you know, I could become somebody's baby mama. I could, you know, like I could go to the sperm bank. I could do all those things. But I did want the traditional marriage, kids situation, just having a family. And it kind of sucks that, you know, I am kind of accepting that that may not ever happen. And just trying to be okay with other things, just not having kids maybe. But yeah, I say all that to say I relate, and it does suck.
Man, they're going through it, man. A lot of them are sitting at home with soaked pillows at night and refuse to change. I've never seen it. It's been predicted that there will be a time like this, and we're in it right now. And it's sad, man. It's sad because when the doctors told her you should be trying to have kids, she didn't take it serious. I still gotta chase that career. Like, feminism has taken them for a dance, a song and a dance, and it's all to keep more debt slaves in the system. And it's sad that woman bit the pill so hard.
I've been looking to freeze my eggs for a while now, so let's talk about what I've learned throughout this process. Number one, I always assumed you had to be a certain age to freeze your eggs. I thought it was like your late 30s, your 40s, and that is not true. You can get your eggs frozen in your early 20s. You can get them frozen younger than 20. The sooner you do it, the better, because the healthier the egg is. I also didn't realize how many eggs you lose per year. You're born with 1 to 2 million eggs, and by the time you're 30, you only have about 100,000 left. They've also done studies showing that by the time you're 30, 90% of your eggs are gone. Third, I didn't realize how expensive it is. It can be up to $30,000 depending on where you live and on a bunch of other factors. It also can be $500 to $800 just to store your eggs annually, so it's obviously a big decision to think about. I say all this because I'm someone who doesn't plan on having kids, but there's always that what if in the back of my head, so if you're on the fence, these are definitely things you should consider.
She talks like she got it all figured out. Good luck with that. And here's the opposite. See, either they're trying to freeze the eggs, not having children, or men have to deal with this.
How do you feel about kids?
I have a son.
Okay.
And do you have kids?
Yes.
How many?
5.
Got it.
Okay, is that a problem? A deal breaker?
I mean, how many of them what's the ratio?
Oh, damn. Really have to go.
Great question.
Really have to go through all of it. Okay. I have an 8-year-old, a 6-year-old, a 4-year-old, a 2-year-old, and an 11-month-old.
I said, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait, first of all, you're not going to speed past that like you didn't just say what you just said.
So fresh.
It's okay. I can take it. I promise. I can take it.
I'm gonna have to.
I can take it.
Now, girl, you know that's not what he meant. He did not mean the ages. He wanted to know how many baby daddies. And that's a fair question for that man to ask. That man got 1 baby and you got 5. He wants to know how many baby fathers are involved in this equation.
It wasn't even baby fathers. I'm going to let her finish, but it wasn't baby fathers. Number one, she's not going to have any freedom. So she can't put anything into him, into a relationship. Like, that's what it is. Like, Because every time you're trying to take her out, she's saying, oh, well, I can't. Only time she can really meet up is to possibly make another baby. And then 8, 6, 4, 2, and 11 months, are they all by the same guy? Were you in a marriage? Most likely not. And that's a problem. If you weren't married in all of these and you have 3 baby daddies, it's an issue. 8 to 11 months, no guy's doing that.
Equation, so he knows how many different men he got to deal with. So he knows how many different men are going to be contributing to the care of these children. He is trying to see what your thought process was. Were you in a long-term relationship and you were having children with your husband? That looks totally different than you got with a new man and had a new baby every 2 years, 5 times. That looks totally different to men. It looks totally different to me. I am not saying that having multiple children by multiple baby daddies is a horrible thing, because let's say you had your first baby at 19 and then you didn't have your second child until 28 and you didn't have your third child until you were 34. You get what I'm saying? That's spaced out a little bit. You had more time to vet these men. You had more longer lasting relationships. It speaks more to where you are mindset wise, because a woman who is thinking about her future and her children's future and the longevity of the relationship, we not just jumping in one relationship, having a baby, oh, it don't work, jump in another relationship, have another baby, oh, it didn't work. So he wanted to know how many kids were with different daddies. And she gave the ages, and that 11-month-old baby, that's who she need to be in a relationship with. And I know some of you women are not going to agree, but I feel like having a 2-year-old and an 11-month-old is crazy that you are out here dating. Where are their daddies? Why are you not trying to make it work with them? And before anybody says, well, they may have been a horrible man, you didn't know that before you got pregnant by him? We have to take the responsibility of choosing better. And if you're not sure if he's a good man or not, don't have a baby with him, because dating is going to be hard.
So we see the issue, and she's right. Women have to choose better because they're having multiple babies by guys they know are dirtbags. And then if that's not happening, they're not choosing at all. So the options women have, or what they're picking, the options they're choosing bad options, and then they're not choosing at all because of their standards. That's why we have this situation now. But yeah, guys, thank you for watching. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. See you next video.